Hi everyone, welcome to BohoMystic. My name is Marinelly and welcome to your December 2025 reading. This is for the air signs today, so Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This is for you. Before we start, I wanted to introduce two decks that I created that will be up for sale in my TikTok shop next week. I've used one in several of my readings here on YouTube, and it's called the Sunlit Path. It's a tarot runic oracle deck. Drawer box, as you can see. It's lovely and wonderful. I've been using my sample deck for a while, but this is the final version. It is a hefty deck. I love big decks. We're looking at a 100-card deck. It's linen finish, has black matte edging, matte finish also on the cards. It shuffles like a dream. And they bend so beautifully, so it's wonderful. And I've been super enjoying this. Yeah, I'm super happy with it. It's funny because every time I refer to this deck, I always say it's delicious because that's how it feels. All right, so this is the Sunlit Path for all of you that's interested. And the second deck that I wanted to introduce today is my Charms scripted paper charms deck. I absolutely love this thing. This is my baby. This has been a labor of love. I've been working on this and waiting for this to be in my hands for close to 2 years. It is also another hefty deck. We're looking at 100 cards in here, so a 100-card beginner deck, and it's awesome. This deck really was born out of my desire to have my charms be portable, or more portable, I guess, than they really are. I've traveled with charms in the past and have had difficulties with that. And I really wanted to be able to just throw this in my bag and go. I also wanted everyone to be able to enjoy charms, especially those that have sensitivities to either touch, textures, and sound. And I know that keeps a lot of people away from charms. Charms are such a huge part of my practice and have definitely grown me as a reader. I wouldn't be the reader today without charms. There's no question about it. There was a time where I exclusively did charms and nothing else. The direct conversation and channeling that comes from charms is quite unique. Charms are so unique because you're referencing your life, your experiences, and it's like having shorthand with source, with the universe, and it's magical. It's magic. It definitely is magic, and I didn't want anyone to not experience that. So that's how charm scripted paper charm scripts, as I call them, came about. As I said, there's 100 in here. I decided to add the meanings right on the cards because I didn't want to create a separate glossary and or guidebook, which I was planning on doing, but I wanted to just bypass all that and just have it on the cards. This is definitely a jumping off point for you. As I said, charms are so personal, so you're going to have your own meanings for them, and it's going to come out, at different times during the reading. Definitely take a Sharpie, put your own meanings on here if you want to. Something new that pops into your mind, write it down. I'm not above writing on my cards, so and neither should you. These are playing card size. They're small. They're so easy to shuffle, and they're also linen finish. They bend so well. I really wanted to keep them small. I didn't want them to be large oracle cards. I didn't want to make them too small either because then you wouldn't be able to shuffle 100. It was a whole thing. I'd love to hear if you guys have any comments or questions on these decks. I would be more than happy to answer them down below. I will be doing a separate charm scripted video that will be going up shortly so that I can go into more depth about it and actually show more of the cards. I am using them in this reading, so keep an eye out for those. And yeah, that's it. That's all for the housekeeping. And in closing, if you guys are celebrating the holidays this December, I wish you a very safe and happy holiday and all my love from my home to yours. To the readings. Bye. Okay, Gemini. December 2025. Can you freaking believe it? I can't. It's crazy. I'm actually filming on the new moon in Scorpio. And I have to say, I feel so much better today than I have in a while. I feel, I'd say the word is lighter. I think that's the word. I feel lighter today. I feel hopeful. I feel pressure has been released. Yeah. So I wonder how you guys are feeling. I'd love to hear. For Gemini, please, Spirit. You know what I'm getting, Gemini, when I close my eyes? Is an eyeball. An eye, yeah. I mean, the eye's there, right? I don't see a person. I just see the eye, but the focus is the eyeball itself. And I thought, oh, okay, is this like the evil eye warding? Or, and it isn't, because the eyeball is actually moving in its socket and it's like looking. It's in darkness. I can see the whites of the eye color is dark, and it's just looking. It doesn't seem frantic. It doesn't seem, but it's like you have your eye on, is it eye on a prize maybe in the month of December? You're very vigilant. I didn't feel anxiety. I just felt like your eyes are wide open. Oh, maybe you're getting any information, or it's like you've caught on to something, or you're not, you can't be deceived because your eyes are wide open. You see it all. You're aware of everything that's going on, or again, you're vigilant. Interesting. Anything else for Gemini, please, Spirit? Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have choices. Interesting. And that's the Two of Wands. Like where you want to go. This is like the beginning spool of thread, right? Where do you start? What do you envision creating? What can this spool of thread become? What can it hold together? What can it piece together? Very interesting. Underneath that, we have the Justice card. Are you making sure that something is just or fair in your life or around you? Could that be the eye? You have a keen eye on things because you want things to be justly done or just so. Again, like you are vigilant for anybody or anything trying to be at an advantage or put someone at a disadvantage, or put yourself at a disadvantage. It's interesting. Okie dokie, so let's take a look at your oracle cards. I'm putting your tarot there. So we're going to start off with your charm scripts. Let's take a look at them. Dandelion, octopus, and dog. Dandelion, wishing, hoping, shapeshifter, resilience and perseverance, undesirable, not seeing attributes, superficiality, and more than meets the eye. Octopus, highly intelligent, adaptable, multitasking, many roles, masks, hands in too many baskets. Interesting. Self-sacrificing, delving into emotional depths, camouflage, and hidden. And then we have the dog, faithful companion, trusted friend, unconditional love, protection, pet, caretaking, responsibilities, and dog eat dog world. With the hands in too many baskets for the octopus, it's like as though you're keeping an eye on things around you. Like no one takes more, does more, everything is fair and square, or everyone gets their just desserts maybe, or everybody gets what they deserve in the month of December. A lot of people are celebrating holidays in the month of December. All right, let's take a look. So dandelion, octopus, and dog. Keep those to the side. In your Moonology card, we have the dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Oh, there's one underneath there. The floating island. Focus. Maintain a purposeful path by aligning your focus and eliminating distractions. Yeah, that's what the Justice card looked like. You have love. Love is often the simplest answer, but so often overlooked. And that is so true. I always say that, don't I? And then we have spring. Thawing, renewal, appreciation, and blooming. And that's underneath the full moon in Taurus with your dreams need a practical plan. And that is spring, Taurus season. And I picked a love card and an angel card for each of the groups. And you guys got a problem card, and it's with heartbreak. And that's under the floating island. And so for the angel cards, I really thought that it would be nice to have an angel that you could potentially ask for help from, that you can call upon, or that you can look at their attributes and see areas that need to be focused on during the month of December. So we have 72 Mumia, and it's rebirth, great receptivity, psychic abilities, mystical experiences, new beginning, high initiations, leading to transformation and new knowledge. Well, today is the new moon in Scorpio. All of these things bode well. Sow the seeds of new life. Understand the law of reincarnation and how affinities manifest on all levels. Announces the end of one cycle and the beginning of a new one. Brings to an end, helps terminate what has been started. Maybe this angel has been around you and will be around you, ushering you in to this year 10 of 2026. Concrete achievements and materialization. With this, your dreams need a practical plan. Great experience of life and opening of conscience. And that's under focus. Let's take a look at your tarot. We are looking at the King of Wands with vision. And that's with love. We have the Magus, the Magician. And we have the Lovers card. Yeah. Beautiful. So my dear Gemini, I see this is about putting yourself out there in the month of December. I feel that you've been floating in the wind. And it's funny because I'm saying that with the dandelion card, how the seeds are blown in the wind, correct? But you also have the floating island, and it's feeling like you've been an island unto yourself. And I think December is going to stir up the feels, and you are going to be pulled emotionally to put yourself out there emotionally. Maybe let bygones be bygones with people that you've fallen out with. And that's including family, especially during the holiday season. It's like as though you've been out of commission emotionally for a while. And you are trying to see your way back. That's what I just got. I just got looking for loopholes. Okay. Maybe you have plans, or you've had plans that have gone south, that have soured. Maybe you have plans or goals that you wanted to reach before the end of the year. And whereas I saw this, your dreams need a practical plan in spring, as timing for spring, I think the spring is that you need to thaw out a relationship or a situationship soon, so that you're not alone and feel lonely over the holidays. That's all I'm getting. And that and with vision, with the King of Wands and the Magician and the Lover's card, this is about interpersonal relationships. These are you revisiting and figuring out what it is that you can do to tweak your relationships that may have been starved maybe these past few weeks. Maybe figuring out how to draw those that you care about back into your life, so that you don't find yourself alone and honestly regretting or having regrets during the holiday season. And if this is where you've had an ending in love, and you somehow isolated yourself from your family or kept them at bay while you tended to your romantic relationship, you can always go back to your family. You can. They're always there waiting for you. I mean, it may be awkward, but if you don't want to be alone, you don't need to. I really feel that. You do not need to be alone this holiday season. I feel that the Gemini collective that's going to be watching this video feels lonely. I feel lonely. My heart hurts. I feel sad. I feel like I'm getting tears. You'll know if this resonates just with what I said. And if not, I think that this is you making plans or trying to find plans over the month of December. But I think you're trying to find plans because you're lonely and you necessarily haven't been included in what's been going on around you or in your family or in your larger social circle. So we come back to being lonely. You have the dog here. Whereas I saw that as a dog-eat-dog world where you were kind of suspicious of everyone and everything, I also think that dog is here in this reading to tell you that you have faithful companions. You have people who love you and who are willing to be there for you. And that it doesn't matter if time has passed, more time than you've wanted or are comfortable with, you're still welcome. And I think that's beautiful. So Gemini, reach out. Reach out. Reach out to those that you haven't spoken to in a while. You still have time to make amends, to maybe hash things out, talk things over, and have those problems start thawing out before the holidays roll around. Your wish of companionship can be fulfilled. It's up to you. All my love always. Big hug. Big hug. Till next time. Bye. Okay, Libra, you're up. I was telling Gemini that today we're filming actually on the new moon in Scorpio, and I'm feeling good. And I haven't felt this good in a while. And it's not that all my problems are gone or that, I don't know, everything is new and all the old is gone. It's not like that. But I do feel like I'm breathing out fully for the first time in a very long time. I feel relief. I don't know if that's the word I used in Gemini, but it's another word. Anything else for Libra, please, Spirit? Anything else for Libra? Okay, I guess that's it. Let's see, for Libra, Spirit, what do we have? So Libra, I saw a very large balloon. And at first I thought, is it a hot air balloon? But then I was drawn back to just like the balloon part on top. And I'm like, okay, no, it is a balloon. And then I was equivocating again. Is it the moon? No, it's a balloon. So it's a balloon. But as the balloon started being pulled away, it did have a basket, like a hot air balloon. But the focus is the balloon, and I heard red balloon. So maybe that's a synchronicity for someone. But an enormous red balloon. It's not just a normal balloon. It felt nice because you got enough lift to take it away. But it was dragging, you know, the basket at the bottom. It's really cool. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Swords. With closure. It's breaking there. I want to see what it says. Nurturing. That's the Queen of Pentacles. Very interesting. I feel like you've nurtured yourself through a closing, through an ending, and you're escaping it. You're escaping it on the red balloon. I just got, was it an SOS where you escaped on this red balloon after the Ten of Swords? Or was that you releasing it? Accepting the closure and being reborn and being taken away. I'm not sure. Interesting. That's breaking there. The Hierophant. Leaving the old to something new. Maybe you starting your own traditions. Closing out a past that no longer serves you, a past that no longer feeds you, a past that no longer really is relevant in your life anymore. And you've been hanging on to it and hanging on to it for reasons that there could be a million reasons why. But it's like, it's done. It's past. You can even see with his age, it's like his era, his power, his control is done. You are past this Hierophant. The red balloon, red balloon. I don't know. I know there's red balloons and lots of things. But all I'm getting with red is root chakra. Interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at your oracle cards. Let's start with your charm scripts first. We have the tree, the Tower of Pisa, very interesting, and the camel. Let me get my glasses and I'll read what they have to say. With the tree, we have family tree, health, strength, nature, nurture, and growth. Maybe you nurturing yourself, as I said before, with the Queen of Pentacles, that's what broke the cycle. That's what that's what freed you. It's like taking upon your own self-care, your own health, your own self-worth. That's interesting. Nature, nurture, growth. Seeing forest through the trees. Roots firmly planted. Need to ground nature in Mother Gaia. We have the Tower of Pisa. Still standing, overcoming obstacles. Bell Tower. Associated with the number 7. Travel, tourism, miracle, marvel. I love the still standing. And then camel, because we have the endurance, right? With the camel. Endurance, perseverance, survival, transportation, self-sufficient, overcoming challenges, internal reserves. I'm just getting, you realize that you're your own escape plan. You always were your own escape plan. Okay, let's follow this. It's like you realizing that you had all the strength and power all this time. You didn't have to look to anyone else, right? Like the other Hierophant, or the Hierophant, because you're now the Hierophant in your own life. Okay. You didn't have to look outside of you to save yourself, to break a cycle, to have that growth. You didn't have to be shown to do it, or you didn't have to have someone do it for you. It's like realizing that all this time you carried the secret. You were the secret. You were the answer all this time. And it wasn't in someone else or through someone else. And that's, you were the exit plan this entire time. You could float away. You could escape. You could just leave what no longer serves you and served you anymore, by calling in your balloon. I love that, though, how you were the exit plan this entire time. How often do we go through life thinking and waiting for someone to give us the exit or show us the exit? Or we can't until, right? We can't do that. That's their responsibility, or I don't have the authority to make that type of decision, or that's not on me, that's on someone else, or I can't do that. I don't know. There's always that, we often feel, I think, powerless to make decisions that affect us in the end. And it's like realizing who better to make those decisions than you, right? Because it's your life, it's your emotions, it's your emotional stability, it's your self-care. And it's like it's like recognizing that you are the Queen of Pentacles. But first and foremost for yourself, no one else. It's quite beautiful. It's like putting the mask on yourself on an airplane in an emergency first, and then someone else, and then another. But truly believing it and understanding the logic behind it, which I think a lot of people don't. For you to be at your peak potential, and that will then help others the best, you need to be able to take care of yourself first. And then you'll be able to do more and be more to others. And it's like you've realized that. I don't know where all this is coming from, but it's beautiful, Libra. It is so beautiful. Let's take a look at your cards. Holy moly. Push through any insecurity. First quarter moon in Cancer. Absolutely. The chalice. This is the self-love. This is you realizing that cup goes to you first. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Stitch. Create a life plan. Create a life plan. Stitch. Create a life plan that enriches your sense of purpose through diverse experiences. Oh, yeah. This is you breaking out of tradition. This is you breaking out of ideology, out of constraints, out of bondage to things that you were ascribed to or ascribed to you. And you just went along with them because that's the way it was, or that's how it is, or that's the status quo. And you're deciding, no, it's not. No, it's not. Call upon or embody fox spirit. Strategic, playful, adaptable, and swift action. Yeah, I think that the strategy, the adaptability and strategy has been turned inward for you to be successful, knowing full well that you'll be able to help others because of it. But this is an act of self-love, an act of self-preservation even. I just got like finding yourself in foreign lands. You know, in many cities, especially in Europe, you'll find foxes, you know, in the cities living well because they've had to adapt to the burgeoning area. And I think that's you. It's like realizing you are stronger than you thought. You can survive. You can be successful, even if it's not how and where you should or have been told to do things. right? The camel. You tapped into your reserves, your own inner strength, and have persevered in spite of everything that's been going on in your life. And you're seeing your success. You are absolutely seeing your success because you're still standing, right? The Tower of Pisa. You are growing. You're healthy. You have vitality with the tree. Wow. Then we have Tiwaz. There's your warrior spirit. Wow. Courage, warrior spirit, justice and victory. Success from sacrifice. Yeah, I think you have sacrificed enough, and I wouldn't even do success from sacrifice. I would say that you sacrificed enough where you realized you were sacrificing for other people's success. It's time for yours. Ethical leadership and honor and integrity. Hun, I think that you are on your way because you've pushed through and were able to balance not only the needs of others, but you've actually prioritized finally your own. So I wonder why you had that basket underneath that balloon after I was told, no, it's not a hot air balloon. But now I feel like maybe that's you making space for others. Because you are the balloon. There's no question in my mind. But instead of you just escaping, right? Becoming your own escape plan, you decided to attach a hot air balloon basket at the bottom of that balloon also and take others. Or have the ability to help or take or help others escape their circumstances. This reading is very cyclical. It's bringing me back and back. And what I said about the mask from an airplane. It's like you found your balloon to escape and you're ready to go. And that's when you're like, okay, I can attach on that string a basket that can help others too. And that's that ethical leadership that we see in Tiwaz. You know, it's an emperor who is just and fair and leads with ethical leadership. And that's what this rune references. Very beautiful. I added 2 cards to each of these readings, and one was a love card and an angel card. So you received a problem card, and it's withdrawal. And that's under chalice. And I want you to remember to accept love from others. Absolutely. They're calling down to this person who is essentially hiding from them. There is something about reciprocation. And sometimes when we are so caught up in an ending and trying to survive and trying to do everything the right way, or you're in charge of everybody, or you're so responsible for so many people and their happiness, and especially with the holidays coming up in December, let's be honest, you know, you may feel very tapped out. Doesn't mean that you don't stop doing all those things and taking care of others. You're taking care of yourself. I 100% feel that you've decided to rewrite your story, your ending. I absolutely feel that. But let me try this for the 3rd time. Sometimes there can be a disassociation from those that you take care of. And you're like, well, I'm doing everything. I'm providing. I'm keeping the lights on. I can't give any more than that. But sometimes all they do need is your attention and you're just your love, your presence. Just your presence. Nothing else. Not presence, potentially. I just wanted to throw that out there. Because it's easy to be overwhelmed with the responsibility of others and think that an impersonal relationship should be enough. And it really leaves a lot lacking when it's only impersonal. When you're not touching base with people and when you're not asking people how they're doing or actually seeing them and making them feel seen, it doesn't matter how much you do for them physically, economically. They can still feel lonely and dejected and rejected by you. So just keep that in mind. There is something there like that. And it kind of fits in with the holiday season, to be honest. You're wanted, not because of what you give them, but because of how they love you. And they need you emotionally also. And the next card is the angel card. So I thought it would be nice to have an angel that you can call upon, an angel that you can pray to if that's something that you do, or their qualities that you can focus on in the month of December. And you have Pahalia, number 20. Deliverance, transcendence of sexuality, pure intimacy, divine sexual fusion in the couple, fidelity, awakening of the kundalini of one's vital energy, subjects concerning spirituality and morality, knowledge of good and evil, purity, consents to sacrifice in order to evolve. How funny is that with the sacrificing? Rectification of errors caused by exalted desires. Helps us undergo ordeals with courage and dynamism. Redemption, encounter with one's divine nature and one's higher self, harmonious spiritual life. That's really beautiful. Helps us undergo ordeals with courage and dynamism. And this angel, again, is number 20, Pahalia. I'm hoping that's the way you pronounce it. These names are not easy. Know yourself and you will know the universe. And I think that's what you're doing. But I'm going to take it one step further. I think what you're doing is honoring yourself. And that in turn honors others and the universe. And your last card, which is the tarot, is the Queen of Swords with wisdom. My dear Libra. And that's under Fox Spirit. Who more for strategy and astuteness and fairness, right? Libra, you have balanced and rebalanced checkbooks. You have balanced and rebalanced anxieties, happiness, desires. Obligations. What is necessary and what isn't necessary in your life. Who is necessary and who is not necessary in your life. Who has power over you and who doesn't. who has dominion in your life. And I think in the end, it all comes down to your sovereignty in your life. And I think, Libra, you have survived and pushed yourself through a huge cycle of self-love, self-worth, self-evaluation. And you've come out understanding that you're worthy. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of taking care of yourself. You're worthy of your feelings. You're worthy of taking up space in your life. And that if you don't, and if you're not allowed to do that in your environment, you have found a way to find an environment that allows that. Or you're creating, as the Queen of Pentacles also, that was underneath the deck, you're creating a world, a life where you are allowed to take up space in your life and be a sovereign in your own life and not be dictated to by an old set of rules that really are outdated and no longer make sense to you. December is going to be beautiful. December is going to be empowering. December is going to it's going to be about finding your footing in this new, I don't want to say confident, even though we do have the Queen of Wands here. I want to say in your new righteous, sovereign self. But I think confidence will come later. There's a difference in knowing who you are, but it takes a while to walk in those shoes before you feel like they're your own. And I think that's where you are. I think you're in a transition. But there is a time too where I hope that you can pull back a little and realize that you don't have to fight every single day and you don't have to sport the warrior mask every single day. And I hope that you're in an environment where you're allowed to be soft and to be vulnerable if you have to. And definitely remember that you're worthy of love, which I think that you now know you are, especially of your self-love. But just a reminder, don't pull away from other people needing you emotionally. Remember to let other people shower you with love, and just realize they want your presence in their lives. All right, my dear Libras, very existential, very spiritual, but at the same time, groundbreaking evolution. In your mental health and in your physical world. So well deserved. Bye. Hi, Aquarius. Welcome to your part of the reading. Let's take a look at your tarot. I've had a few sneezing fits here and there, so I may have to stop the reading a couple times. I'll get that. Okay. Got that one. Anything else for Aquarius? That is so many, Aquarius. You're the last one for the day. Let's do them. Bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of Cups with fulfillment. That's excellent. 9 of Cups with fulfillment. Hi, Aquarius. All right, let's see what we get for you, hun. All right, Aquarius. So what I saw was a king sitting back in his chair, in his throne. It wasn't a huge throne. It was a chair, but it was obviously his chair. And he had a huge white beard. When he sat down kind of tired. But he had his scepter and he was straight. He didn't look ill. He just looked older and sitting down for rest. So is this month going to be a culmination of something you've been working on for a long time? Is this month going to be a fulfillment, right, of a dream that you've been working on for years? There is something about his age that was very evident to me, and that's what I was supposed to take away from the vision. And he was tired. So maybe the month of December is also a call for you to rest, for you to take a breather. A lot of people have time off. It's a season that a lot of people celebrate holidays. So maybe you'll be able to have some time off. But there is a weariness. The word is in Spanish for me right now. Un cansancio. So there is a weariness. I don't want to say even exhaustion because that's not it, but there's a weariness of body and of soul, and you just wanting to sit after working so hard and diligently. This is breaking right there, and I'd like to see what it is. The Empress. It's time for, how funny is that? It's time for the king to become the queen, to balance the divine masculine with the divine feminine. This is receiving and allowing, not fire and doing and building. This is now allowing your creation to come from all of your hard work that you've already put out into the universe. This is now allowing for things to finally develop on their own. There is a releasing and letting the garden grow now. You've done all you could. Now it's time for you to let it go. And trust and have faith that it's going to deliver what you've sown. You can see there too, that's breaking there, and I like to see what that is. Message with the Page of Coins. I think that it's time for you to start receiving your court to you. Allow the pages to do their job, the knights to do their job. It's time for them to work and till the fields and do all that stuff. And let them bring to you the updates. It's like a person who's ready to retire. And that could be for someone. You could be retiring actually this month, this year, 2025. It could be the end of your career. Your bones need to rest. That's what it is. Your bones need to rest. Okay, now I understand why there's so many cards here. All right, let's take a look at what else you have here. Oh, let's do your charms. First one, ballerina. Talk about taxing and hard work. Grace, beauty, disguised pain and effort. Ballet, daughter, rehearsal. Performer and performance. I would say the disguised pain and effort. It is so beautiful to see a ballet. And dancers are so majestic, right? But the pain that they go through and the discipline that they have to exert is astounding. And I think that's you. I think that's you, Aquarius. This is an acknowledgement of what you've gone through and what you do. And you may make it look effortless, your success, your accomplishments, but they're not. People may even assume that things come very easily to you, and they don't. We have metal. Yeah, someone may be retiring, or someone may be winning or achieving something really big that they've worked really hard for. It's like coming home after the Olympics, right? With medals. This may be your off season. This should be your downtime after working really hard. How amazing is that? Winner's circle, job well done, sacrifice rewarded, competition, competitive, gold, silver, bronze placements. Love it, love it, love it. And the last one is the X. Breaking through barriers, removal, force, outdoors, and repetitive work. Yeah, this is you needing a break from this. This is getting the accolades and achievements, right? The medal for the ballerina who's been working like an axe for however long. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I love this. Okay. Then we have your Moonology card is out of bounds, moon, boundaries. This is going to have to be regarding work-life balance. Allowing yourself to erect boundaries over your me time. I just heard your sanity time. That's funny. The inner labyrinth. Yeah. Look at that. All I just see is erecting boundaries around your inner sanctum, your inner sanity, your sanity. Yeah. It's like for them to get to you, they're going to have to go through a lot. And it's you upholding these boundaries, though. It's you standing your ground and truly giving yourself the time off, time out that you need to recuperate, to restore your energy, to feel rejuvenated again, right? Because of the age. And if it is retirement, it takes a while for you to feel normal. Be a retiree. It takes a while for you to go through the loss, even though it's welcomed and it's something you've worked hard for, the loss of a social circle, the loss of status, the loss of a profession. I mean, there's so much grief enmeshed with retirement. And this says step. View milestones as stepping stones on your journey to a joyful life. Wow, Aquarius, your reading is wonderful. The synchronicities are lovely. Yeah, I think that you're going to reach milestones. And December will be your break from reaching these milestones of working. It's not even about the break from the milestones. It's the break from the tireless working and wheeling and dealing and just non-stop work ethic that you've had to have received these milestones, to have achieved these milestones, to have achieved these medals that you're going to be receiving. And the break, the vacation in itself, you know, the time off may be the medal, maybe the milestone. Maybe you haven't been able to take a vacation in months. Maybe you haven't been able to have any time off. Maybe your work-life balance has been completely out of whack and you're not able to rectify that a bit. Then you have air signs. How funny is that? The element of air, intellectualism, analysis, communication, reserved. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Well, here you are in your own reading. I love it. Maybe it's time to stop thinking. And now it's time to start feeling, right? And then we have old wounds. This is a love card that I included in all the readings, and I have an angel card for all of the readings also. This is a problem. Old wounds. And there's a person who's trying to give love to this person who has a broken heart. So how our past influences our present, of course. Past hurts influence our present. Past hurts influence how we allow others in, how we love others. I think this is more so of a warning or a, hey, heads up. Maybe when you're erecting boundaries, you're not erecting boundaries around the people that actually do love you. Interesting. And then the angel that I thought maybe we can look at to either call upon, pray to, if that's something that you do, or to embody their powers, their gifts. Yours is 49 Vahul. Vahul? I'm going to stick with Vahul. Vahuel, maybe? Elevation towards greatness and wisdom. Didn't we have wisdom in here? Absolutely. Meditation, visualization, and mantra recitation. Interesting. Ability to accede to the parallel worlds, to be in contact with their inhabitants and or deceased people. Exaltation and glorification of the divine enlightenment. Detachment from matter, elevation through service. Altruism and diplomacy, with the element of air. Aspiration to what is elevated, great devotion to others. Very beautiful. Vahuel or Vahul is an angel that I think you should look into in the month of December. And that's with boundaries. Maybe this is you saying, I'm not working. I'm focusing on everything that I want to focus on. If it's reading the books that you want to read, if it's studying, maybe you're saying, I am no longer doing that. So now I can actually dedicate to the things that I've always wanted to do. You know, find my spiritual path. Focus on the world outside of me, in the world outside of my career, which never has defined me, but has been something I've needed to do. It's time for you to self-actualize, and that's what this angel, I think, is going to help you do in the month of December. And then your tarot, we have rest with the Four of Swords, with the inner labyrinth. Absolutely. And it's those boundaries. And, you know, keeping those boundaries erected and sturdy is important. for others, but it's also you. It's for your own self-discipline too. And it's also holding yourself to task of, no, I wanted to do this. No, I'm not going to allow myself to be pulled into that problem. No, I'm on vacation. No, it's family time. You know, it goes both ways. And then we have deception, and that's the Seven of Swords with step. Maybe it's understanding that how many more milestones do you really need to be happy, right? How many steps on the career ladder do you need to achieve to be truly happy? Are you happy and satisfied with who you are and what you have today? Or do you still need more? Those type of desires become insatiable and can lead you astray sometimes. You may be putting things off that you really shouldn't, and not prioritizing things that you should. Element of air, we have pursuit, and that's what the, oh, interesting, Knight of Pentacles. I think that goes into what I was just saying. I think you can put off this pursuit of more materialism, or of more, of needing more this month. That king was tired. I think what you should focus on, if anything, is you, is your own self-care. It's about parking, right? This Knight of Pentacles that is tireless, that is unstoppable, that goes on and on, defying time, is a perfectionist in many ways. It's like putting him to rest, saying, I'll get back to this in January if you're not retiring. Things can wait after my vacation. I can have that phone call next week. Not tonight. Just not tonight. And it's being able to enforce that in your life in the month of December. For old wounds, we have the Emperor. Oh, yeah, don't let those old wounds, and I want to say the old wounds, I mean, these old wounds may be the reason why you don't have a very good work-life balance. You know, your priorities and the things that you've made important in your life are important in your life because, and were influenced by not having other things in your life to focus on. Even this person, even this Emperor looks very old, sitting on this chair, on this spool. It's trying to control your environment. And there is an essence of giving up control in the month of December here. When you're working 24/7, it's very hard to decompress. It's hard to not be the person you are at work, at home. How many can agree with that? And if it is during a holiday season for you that you celebrate, you're going to have potentially the kids at home. You're going to have family at home. You're going to have extended family at home. It gets a lot. And sometimes you have to step away from thinking like the boss at work or a manager and trying to control everyone and allow everyone else to decompress and allow everyone else to experience their time off. Yeah, there's an essence of control that you're going to have to give up to truly give yourself this time off, this TLC. And to give others the right to their time off, to their TLC. This is very, multi-pronged, especially with this old wounds card. Your work-life balance could be because of your old wounds, as I said before. I know I'm repeating myself. And it's going to take a bit to break that habit. This could also be inner child wounding. This could be for a person who, this could be for an Aquarius who felt unseen, not prioritized during the holiday season, left out. I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm feeling here with this. I don't necessarily see this as with your romantic partner. I see this within you. Or that if you're not working, if you come from a family who prioritize work over everything, achievement over everything, success over everything, there's something here where it may be difficult for you to truly decompress and allow yourself and see yourself worthy to not do anything, to actually truly rest, to stop and not work for a bit, to not pick up the phone call that truly wasn't necessary or isn't necessary, or for you to enforce those rules with other people. There is something there. Again, this card really means a lot and will resonate, I think, differently for different people. It's breaking this control. And you may not feel in control unless you're at work or working or in control, like literally. When everything is spiraling around you, you have a million people around you and everybody's milling and having a good time and not really doing things that you think they should be doing, I can see that bothering some people. Yeah, this is definitely for people who are finding themselves uncomfortable with doing nothing and taking the time off and having their personal space potentially invaded by others. Partnership. 2 of Cups. Just like we were saying. Passion. The Queen. Oh, wow, that's interesting. The Queen of Wands. The Hanged Man. And conflict. The 5 of Needles. Oh my gosh, the 5 of Swords. Oh, that's interesting. So with partnership and the Queen of Wands, I just love how it's tied up in a bow here. All I'm seeing is you just allowing yourself to be taken through, right? Taken with the flow of, again, I hate to make this all about the holidays, but I'm getting a lot of that here. It's you being taken, right, by the flow of the river, by the flow of energy in your surroundings during the month of December. I think that you are also going to be expected to join in. You know, the word passion is really getting to me. If you see her, she has a passion of her creations. Unlike other Queens of Wands that you see them, you know, beautiful and awe-inspiring in many potentially like attractive ways. This is more about you finding your passion. It's for you finding enjoyment, right, in the experience. And I think that's what you're being asked to do, is to find that enjoyment in this experience with others, with those that are around you that we were just going through. It's like leaving the Grinch at the door. It's you partaking in holiday cheer. It's you going to a holiday party. And if it's not that social, it's you at home diving in, or jumping in head first into your vacation, your time out, your rest. If it's sleeping in. If it's taking care of your health, it's taking care of your health. If it's eating right, it's eating right. I know that's funny how I say it, but I think that a lot of people have difficulty in doing the things they're supposed to do and doing the things that they say they're going to do. So this is, do the things that you're supposed to do during this break that you desperately need. Don't don't half-ass it. Thank you, Spirit. All right, well, I could have just said that in the beginning, I guess. Oh my gosh. And then we have the Hangman, and we have the Five of Swords with conflict. I mean, I think that it's you. You're not going to want to hear this either. It's biting your tongue. It's saying to yourself, this is a judgment-free zone. This is you, because I feel like you're going to find yourself constantly judging yourself and others for not doing something they should be doing. I do. Let me know if that resonates, because that's like, it's coming across really clearly. It's you realizing that everyone is entitled to self-care, including yourself, that someone doesn't have to flounder in order for someone to do well. It's you realizing and seeing the value of taking time off, which you may never have, which you may have actually criticized in the past. And it's realizing that not only is it necessary for yourself, but it would, of course, then be necessary for other people too. There is something like that here. There is, yeah. Or don't just jump in figuring out your next battle plan, your next, I don't know, plan to conquer the world starting in January. Like, give yourself a break and give yourself a true timeout. Because if not, you're not going to get the rest that you so desperately need. I love this. It's like this. It's like seeing these little characters, like this little play that's being played out right in front of him. But it's also realizing at the same time that they're marionettes. They have strings attached. That the magic may not necessarily be the magic that you think it is. Or that something so simple can feel so real. I don't know where I'm going with that, but there is something there about maybe something so simple as a holiday vacation that is truly magical and life-changing. And that it's not silly to think that 3 days off may be exactly what you need to make you feel great again. To make you feel ready to conquer the world again. And that it's not silly for you needing time off. It's not silly for you needing to unplug. It's not silly for you prioritizing your own mental health needs and your own physical needs for a moment in time in the month of December. They're not silly. The magic is still, like, it can be, it's not silly to think that that is exactly what you need in order to keep going. Magic is in the ordinary. Magic is in everything. And even if these characters have these strings attached to them, they're still magic. And they can still be magic. So, like, it's not conflictual. They can both be A and B at the same time. I don't know. It makes sense to me in my heart. I hope that it makes sense to you. All right, Aquarius. I hope that you have a wonderful respite from your hard-earned success. I hope the medals and accomplishments are what you've worked so hard for. And I hope for sure, and I definitely hope, that you're able to finally truly unplug and take a moment to unwind. All my love always.